we work in the Cobar Basin, which is a beautiful part of the world, and that's the landscape there. No houses, no hobby farms, and 3.5 hours drive from our home base of Orange, which is a fantastic, cheap and easy place to work out of, very close to our projects, which lowers our risk and lowers our cost of exploration as well. In the Cobar Basin, you've got world-class miners, you've got lots of mines, quite a few mills, which are all hungry, and then you've got us. We're the worst house on the best street. We're a 5 million market cap with 2 million cash in the bank, and that means we've got an enterprise value of $3 million. So our potential for upside growth with discovery is quite high. We've got a tight share register, and we've got a very bright future, which is very close, which I'll talk about with you shortly. So one of the main guys I want to talk to you about is Adam McKinnon, who is our non-exec director and was the general manager for Aurelia Metals and the business development geologist for Aurelia Metals. So he looked at all the mines throughout the Cobar Basin and New South Wales, and now he left there 2 years ago. Now he's on our board, and he loves our drill targets. He was involved with 5 discoveries at Aurelia Metals over the 8 years he was there, and 4 of those are either have been mined or are mined out currently. So he knows what it takes to take a discovery through the mining process, and now he's very happy on our board, which ready for another discovery. We work in the town of Lake Cargelligo. We love this community. We want to grow this community. We're a sponsor of the footy club, and we think with a small company like us, we're not a huge company. We think our ESG revolves around the community of Lake Cargelligo, because that's where we can have a positive effect and actually a measurable effect on the community and on the town. So it's a small population, 1,500 people, but they're young, energetic. It's a mining workforce. Lake Cal is just down the road. You've got all the Cobar mines. They're very familiar with mining. The Cobar mines haven't come that far south. Not yet, anyway. So just in the light blue there, the South Cobar project is the one we've been working on mostly in the last 6 months, and where we're going to be working all this year. I'm really excited to be explaining why we're working here. We've totally revolutionised the South Cobar district. So we are in the western Lachlan Fold Belt of New South Wales. Big farms, marginal farming, and we've got a great relationship with all of our farmers out there. It's a world-class district. It's one of the most well-endowed intractonic basins in the world, and for the last 150 years, all the mines, most of the exploration has been focused right up in the north, where there's a 150-year mining history. So really, in the Cobar Basin, there are 3 main districts defined by me. So the northern district was discovered in 1870, has been mined for 150 years, and is a really mature mining, what we'd call a mature mining district. Now, John Wronski, the professor from University of Western Australia, he talks about search spaces, and you've got to go and find a new search space. The law of diminishing returns is with discovery in a mature mining district, because typically you find the biggest one first. Olympic Dam, Hemi, De Grey, those guys have done such an amazing job. et cetera, et cetera. There's many examples where in new basins or new districts, they find the biggest deposit first. So in the last 10 years, exploration has really been brought south. Peel Mining have done an amazing job discovering 4 great deposits yet to be mined, though, but in the south. And Aurelia Metals had their fantastic discovery, Federation, in 2019. Federation is fairly near surface. It was found from lead in soils and IP geophysics. Now, so lead in soils and IP geophysics, and it's really important. My non-exec director, Adam McKinnon, was on that group when they made that discovery. It's got an NPV of about $400 million, and they took it from discovery to mine within under 4 years. So New South Wales has had 4 mines approved in the last in this year, 2 on either side of the election. It's quite amazing, but this is an area where you can get mines approved and get them approved quickly. So then we've pegged a huge portion of the southern Cobar Basin. Now, like John Wronski says in go and find a new search space, we've done that here, where there's no mines, but we've done the right science. The rocks are the same. They've been through the same processes. And the exploration just hasn't been done. So we don't have resources yet, but we've come up with some fantastic targets that we think very soon will be a real catalyst for our growth. So zooming in on this area here is our tenement through here. So this is the town of Lake Cargelligo. Remember, the Federation mine here was discovered on lead in soils and IP geophysics. And when you go back and look at all the major copper, gold, lead, zinc, silver systems through the Cobar Basin, they were really, if you wanted to discover them now in hindsight, you would use lead in soils and IP geophysics, and then drilling. So, over the last 3 years, we've been working down this belt. We've found a 100-kilometre long trend where there's multiple zones of lead in soils and IP geophysics. We're not doing anything ridiculously smart. We're not using new technologies. We're just doing what was found in the north, and hopefully here we'll find the biggest one first. So in 3 weeks' time, we're going to be drilling this one here, and I'll take you through that now. Sorry, just before I do, I just want to explain. Up in the north, the CSA copper mine is the highest grade copper mine in the world. It was recently acquired by Metals Acquisition Limited from Glencore for a cool $1.1 billion US. Like that's a great target to be exploring for. For the first time in 28 years, we've had drill results come out of there from Metals Acquisition, because Glencore never released drill results. 24 metres at 14% copper, 28 metres at 12% copper. These are great drill hits. And without being too ridiculous, what would that do to a company if we could hit that in one of these targets on a 5 mil market cap? That's my hopes and dreams. But I think we can get there. So looking down the south at our first target, this one has multiple parallel lodes. It's the same footprint size as Federation. It's 700 metres long. We've got multiple gold in rock chips. We took 43 rock chip samples along the mineralised horizons, and 23 of them came back above a gram, with 13 of those came back above 2 grams and up to 6.5 grams. So quite consistent gold. We've also got copper, lead in there as well. Now, this is outcropping on surface. It was just never discovered before, never properly been explored. So we're very fortunate to have this. Yesterday, we announced that we've got a drill rig coming here in 3 weeks' time. So we'll understand the results very, very shortly. And we'd love you to be on board with us while we drill this thing. Just looking in cross-section now. So this is what the hill looks like. Very easy area to explore. We've got a great relationship with the landholders. They want us to discover something here as well because they also would like a stepwise change in their finances. So, Fender Geophysics, if Andrew Sloot's here, he worked on our geophysics through here for 13 weeks. He's a major sponsor of the conference as well. So thanks to Fender for producing such beautiful, brilliant IP results underneath surface soil geochemistry and gold in rock chips. So we'll plug about 7 to 9 holes in here towards the back end of September. So we're very excited about that. Looking just 20 kilometres to the north, Achilles has a similar signature. We've got lead in soils. We drilled this 2 years ago. It was incredibly wet. Do you remember what it was like two years ago? We were dragging the drill rig round with the Landholders tractor out of bogs, and we hit multiple quite good intercepts, up to 10.5% lead zinc, 1.5% copper. There's a bit of gold through this as well. We got 85 metres at 0.13% copper. We didn't quite get it, but then we did the geophysics, and we realised that we just didn't quite get it. So we'll go back to this later this year and drill this as well. But again, lead in soils, IP geophysics, good geology, where you can see the outcrop on the hills. Again, so our 4th and 5th target is lead in soils and fantastic IP geophysics, nice systematic work. We know it works, go and drill it. We've got 5 really good chances at this. Fantastic high chargeability results, and wherever we see these northwest trending structures come through these zones, we get a nice open basin, and then we get the signatures, the lead in soils, and the IP geophysics. So we think we've got some fantastic chances at discovery success here, and with the drill rig coming in 3 weeks, we would love you to be involved. So some of the discoveries we'd like to mimic ourselves off. Peel, 10 years ago when they discovered Mallee Bull, they went from 7 cents to 70 cents in 2 months on their drill results there. A fantastic result. Carnaby Resources are using IP geophysics to find copper. They've worked out their strategy and they just keep on finding it, and they've done an amazing result. So there's some really good peers that we know works for copper and gold, and we're just mimicking their success. So we'd love you to come on that journey with us. And we've got a few more projects through New South Wales, but we're wholly focused in the Cobar Basin because that's where the M&A activity has been lately. That's where we've had incredible discovery success, and no one has looked around in our package of rocks. And we think we'll find the biggest one first there. So I'm holding a little golf stick. You might have seen we've got the little golf green there. Please come over and have a hit of golf. You can win an amazing bottle of wine by my good friend who's the winemaker out of Orange, Matt Eads of Amore Wines. It's a $100 bottle of wine. You can't buy it anymore. And so come and have a hit of golf. You don't really have to get it in. I'll put your name in the hat anyway. And I'll be drawing it out tomorrow afternoon. So thanks very much, and see you in the booth.